Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Earthbound. I am Adrian, and we're here back in Onet to go pick up the book Overcoming Shyness from the library, which is not that building right there. I know it's in the north side of town, but it's been quite a while since we've been back here. Obviously, with this being the very first town in the game, it's nice to hear that upbeat music again, especially considering that things are just going to get darker from here on out. But yeah, we stopped by the library, and okay, so I guess in the year 2001 we had to come back and return that map. So technically we are a little bit late on that, but that's okay. So the book is in one of these shelves. That was quick. That was a complete guess. I mean, I knew it was like kind of near the left side of one of the shelves, but generally you do kind of have to check like almost every shelf to try and find it. But I got a little lucky, and I guess my memory was good, and there it was. So now we can go ahead and take that book over to the Tenda tribe, and that will cure their shyness. Luckily, they can read. So that's going to be, there we go, Tenda Village. And luckily there is a teleport there, so we don't have to go all the way back through the deep darkness, because that'd be a big pain in the butt. But here we are back at the Tenda Village, and once we head over here, and I believe the leader was the one with the horns over here, so we'll go ahead and talk to him. And okay, so I guess we have to actually pull out the book and use it on him. Book can fix shyness. Thanks. Relax. I'll read to everyone. Oh, and he feels like he's overcoming shyness just holding the book in his hands. So that's quite some incredible book. So we read the entire book to everyone, and magically everyone's shyness is cured. So he's gonna give us Tenda Kraut in return, a type of dish that I'll tend to like. This is some type of healing item. I'm not really sure 100% what it does, but we'll try and make use of it at some point. And photographer! And goodbye, photographer. And hey, you have a happy little question for you. Adrian. Oh yeah, they're asking my player's name again, just to confirm it, and that is still okay. I haven't changed my mind on that. Adrian is me. Yep, that's correct. I am happy with that name. Yes, I'm absolutely certain. Yeah, I thought that you'd made your mind. What was your first clue? Was it the fact that that's the name I originally gave you, or the fact that I confirmed it, or the fact that I confirmed it 3 more times? Oh, and we also get a bag of Dragonite, so that's nice to get. Let's go ahead and I think, yeah, Ollie's got a lot of space in his inventory, so let's go ahead and give it to Ollie. Generally, I like using Ed for items, but since the bag of Dragonite is a damaging item that probably doesn't do that much more than his whatchamahoozit item, his bazooka does, then I don't think it's really worth it. Horn of... Oops. Hang on. Okay, he likes the Horn of Life. I don't think we have one of those. So we give him a Horn of Life, then we get one of those things. I think you have to work your way up. You have to trade him certain items to work your way up, but we don't have a Horn of Life, and I'm not sure where to get one. So there's a chance we might end up not doing that. There's an upgraded bat item for our main character here, but we'll get to that in a little bit here. So there's a hot spring here. You could rest in. Yeah, okay, so we don't need to do that right now. I think there's one of the little coffee break kind of scenarios pretty soon here, possibly on our way back. The ones that have like the little text that says, you know, you've come so far, you have so far to go, what have you learned along the way? You know, it has all that text over the trippy background and whatnot. My power, awe-inspiring. So now we can head down into the underground, and down this way is where we're going to find our last 2 year sanctuary locations. But first, there is a rock here that we're going to talk to, and apparently the rocks around here don't talk too much. There's another rock that talks even more down further ahead in the Lost Underworld, which is where we're headed to. Don't forget to talk to it, it's important. Okay, so this rock just tells us to go talk to the talking rock, so that's incredibly helpful. So here's a little cave area here. I don't remember how long this is. Ooh, and this enemy is interesting. We've seen something like this before, right? I think we saw the Foppy in, what's his face's place? Master Belch. We saw the Foppy there, so this isn't entirely a new enemy, but it is still technically an enemy we haven't seen before because it is like a recoloration. And just like in Master, I keep calling him Master Barf because that was his new name, Master Belch's lair, they are pretty good experience grinding because they get knocked out pretty easily. They attack in big groups, so you can use your PSI attacks that target rows and such on them, and they give a decent amount of experience considering how weak they are. So if you need to do a bit of grinding, this is the place to do it. Just like Master Belch's lair was kind of the place to do it back when we were over there. Although, honestly, we really don't need the grinding, considering how well we handled that last boss fight last episode, even without using any PSI attacks. I think we're probably fine. Yeah, and we just got 2 more levels there as well. So, consider we got a level with the first one, 2 levels with that one. Yeah, they do give quite a bit of experience. And let's see, a luck capsule. Who needs the luck? Let's give it to Ben, just because I want to use it and get it out of our inventory. There's a couple of ladders we can go down here. I'm not sure which way is the correct way. It appears there's a talking rock down here. Thanks for talking to me. Oh, you don't say anything. Okay, so that guy just led to us being attacked by 2 enemies we've already seen before, so I didn't feel the need to show them again. One of those was a conducting spirit. That was the second one, the one we saw in Dalam, and the other one was one of the spitting robo enemies we just saw back in the base we were just in. The Stonehenge base. That was the word I was looking for. For some reason, I couldn't remember the name of it. I don't know why. So yeah, continuing on, let's see, that ladder probably leads up to where we already were. It was probably that ladder I saw that I kind of passed by. A bottle of deluxe water, we definitely want to give that to Ollie to help heal off his PSI points. And at some point, before we get too close to the end of the game here, I probably want to teleport back to Dalam and buy a whole bunch of water. I think you can buy the deluxe water there. And use that on Ollie, and then kind of use him as my go-to healing guy, because he can heal off his PSI pretty easily using that water, and therefore I feel like he'd make a pretty good healer. And also, I'm surprised I only got attacked by one of those at once, so that was kind of weird. And there we go, we're already at the next year sanctuary location up here. So here we go. It's kind of like in the middle of nothingness. Like I don't know. There's nothing around here. It's just kind of a hallway that we need to get down. So, here we are, the 7th Year Sanctuary location, and this is why I wanted to get those 2 out of the way, the one that was in Forside and the one in Dalam, because we got this one, and then probably next episode we'll be taking on the next one. So I wanted to make sure we do both of those, the last 2 in a row, because there's something that happens after the last one, and I want it to happen at where the last one is, rather than happening somewhere else. And you'll see what I mean when I get there, probably next episode. So anyways, let's get into this battle with the Electric Spectre. Let's go ahead and just open up. Let's see, what kind of a... No, let's just go for a bash. Katie, go for your most powerful freeze. Might as well go all out with our PSI attacks, because since this is your sanctuary location, we do get completely healed up after this. And then, I know, yeah, Ollie got Shield Omega. I want to try that out, because I'm pretty sure that puts a shield up on everybody. Oh, he's got Psychic Shield. That didn't do too much, luckily. Alright, so we're all protected by a power shield. That's different from a PSI shield, so if he uses an attack that actually, like, physically hits us, then it'll get deflected back at him. Oh, okay. So he tried to use Thunder. It bounced off the Franklin badge, hit him, and then got reflected back at us. So yeah, now we definitely need to heal Katie up. Let's go for a bash with Ben. Does Katie have any goods she can use? No healing items. Okay, so we got rid of his PSI shield, though, so we can go for that all-out Freeze Omega, although even the reflected Freeze Omega didn't do too much to us. And then Ollie, let's get that life up on Katie. Hopefully you're fast enough. Or alternatively, we could get that body solidification, but we got the heal up on time. Okay, and that's not doing too much to be concerning. And then let's just go for another. Let's go for a heal on. Let's just go for a life of alpha on ourselves. Katie, you might as well keep going. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Keep going with those freeze omegas. Ed, of course, just keep using that heavy bazooka. That's just your go-to weapon from here on out. And then Ollie, want to heal you up as well. Actually, let's go for a life up beta in case he ends up hitting you again. Although I'm pretty sure, yeah, Ollie's kind of our fastest party member. I think he and Katie are kind of tied, which is good because they're our big PSI attackers. We're doing quite a bit of damage here. Let's see if we can go ahead and bash. We might be able to finish it off this round because we're doing so much damage, especially with the heavy bazooka and those PSI freezes. Let's go for a Star Storm. Have I shown that off yet? I mean, we did see it in the Master Barf battle, but that was not used by us. That was kind of like a story-based thing, so let's go ahead and use it for ourselves. Why does Ben miss all the time? Yeah, we would have finished this guy off by now if it wasn't for me missing all the time. And we're already out of PSI points like Katie, so let's just go for a Gamma and, of course, Heavy Bazooka as usual. And, do I want to go Starstorm again? Yeah, what the hey, let's do it again. And we should be getting close to finishing this guy off. There we go. Finished him with the Starstorm. That's awesome. And really not a difficult boss battle. Especially if you remember to keep that Franklin badge. Like, just never get rid of the Franklin badge. I don't care how much it's clogging your inventory, because in this game you have lots of stuff that clogs your inventory up. Make sure you always hang on to that, because it's always going to be those enemies that have those electrical attacks, so you can bounce back at them. Although, unfortunately, in this fight, before you take down his shield, it'll bounce off you, bounce back to him, and then bounce back to you again, which kind of stinks. Lots of level ups, which is nice, but I don't know if we even really need that. Healing Omega, which might be able to bring back our characters from the dead. We'll have to try that out at some point, I suppose. And up this way, down the hole. There we go, the next year's Sanctuary location. And there's a... How am I supposed to get to that butterfly? I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're going to get fully restored here in a second, but... Really? And there's some trippy, weird stuff going on in the walls over here. And if we keep going up further, we're going to see... Well, this is the actual Your Sanctuary location where we get healed up and everything. And there's some text on the wall. I'm Ben. It's been a long road getting here. Soon. I'll be... Soon. I'll be... Soon. Okay, get to the point. What will happen to us? What's happening? My thoughts are being written out on the wall. This is kind of interesting because it's the only time you really get to see, or are they? I mean, it's the only time you really get to hear from your main character. Because as in a lot of, JRPGs, Japanese RPGs, the protagonist is a silent protagonist and does not have any lines. And yeah, so you never really get a feel for, like, what your main character is thinking. Although, to be fair, the thoughts of your main character are generally going to be, the thoughts of you because they are meant to be you. But at the same time, this is like the only place in the RPG where you actually kind of get to hear your main character speak. In a certain sense of the word, although that, or are they, it kind of puts that in question. And whoa, we're being attacked. It's a Dinosaur. So yeah, this is the Lost Underground, and there's dinosaurs here. Although this dinosaur looks kind of like a dog with its nose. I don't know what's going on there, but we're gonna go out and hit it with some PSI attacks. I think there's like 2 or 3 different kinds of dinosaurs you encounter down here, and we'll just have to see what kind of PSI attacks they're weak to. Freeze is always a good bet as a single target attack, since there is a single target, and it seems to do a decent amount, so we'll probably be using that on a lot of these dinosaurs, unless some of them are different. I guess we'll just have to see. These guys, if I remember correctly, they actually do hit pretty hard. So be careful, try and take them out quickly if you can, because as you saw in the overworld, they are really big, and I think to try and represent how much larger they are than you, they do a lot more damage, although, yeah, that was pretty easy, but they can be a little challenging, especially if you might be a little bit under-leveled at this point in the game, which I would guess that we're probably not, and we are obviously very, very tiny right now. It's meant to kind of represent the scale of the Lost Underworld here. It's an interesting little area, because this is the only place where your character sprites kind of get shrunk, and this almost looks like the kind of overworld that you'd have in an RPG, where, like, you walk to different places, and then you zoom in, and, you actually get to the main, like, walking around screen, and this is more like a traveling screen, but obviously it's not quite that, but yeah, this is kind of done to represent, kind of show how big the underworld really is, rather than having it zoomed in on us, and, yeah, we're gonna have to fight this guy too. And I believe at this point you can't get back up, until you finish what you need to do down here. So make sure you do any grinding on those fobbies that you need to do before you head down that hole, and make sure you're all equipped up and everything. I mean, you shouldn't have too much problem, and I think you can probably get away from the dinosaurs if you kind of hide in a little hole over here. Like if they're chasing you, you can kind of get between the trees and stuff like that and get away from them, and that does make things a little bit easier if you need to escape and you can't get around them. Although we can't get through that little opening in the trees. That's kind of weird. And this looks like, I'm pretty sure this is a present. There's a brain food lunch. Ooh! Holy cow, what is that? That's a little crazy looking. But yeah, there's a brain food lunch, which I believe heals PSI and health, so it's really useful. Up here is a couple of tendas who seem to be lost in the Lost Underworld. So let's go ahead and chat with them, see what's going on. You're strange, but you smell good, so I'll tell you a secret. Oh, you know what? That Tenderkraut is probably something that we use down here, I think. Because this guy says we smell good, which I think is probably a reference to the Tenderkraut we got up above. Apparently there's some springs that can help you heal off if you need it. And this bird is basically a telephone, so if you need to use the telephone, deposit items, that kind of stuff, you can use that there. And there are quite a few earthquakes down here because there's some crazy stuff going on. And I gotta read this sign, this gigantic sign. In case of danger, evacuate here. The boss. It's a little cage. I don't know. I guess if there's dinosaurs chasing you, you can hide in there. But yeah, as we saw, there was another area up here we can get to. Do we want to fight that guy? Are we gonna have a choice? Nope, doesn't look like we have a choice. So this is the Ego Orb. It looks like the moon with googly eyes. So yeah, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and throw some PSI at it. Just go all out with our attacks. I feel like most enemies, that's what I tend to do, is I just throw out, not top level PSI freezes because that's too expensive. Ooh, yeah, that's always helpful. If you're going up against one enemy and you don't know how tough they are, just throw some freeze betas or freeze gammas at them and hope for the body solidification, because you got 2 people who can use it, and you should have a pretty good chance of paralyzing it every now and again and getting some good damage off. And that guy's coming to the door. You guys smell really good. Yep, that Tenderkraut is helping us out. And what are you doing inside our dinosaur cage? So that's an interesting perspective. So apparently everything out here is the cage, and inside there is outside the cage. And our Tenderkraut was awful. Or it was stolen, and it smelled awful, but we got rid of it, so that's good. Okay, so apparently there's a mystery rock. Is it this rock up here, possibly? Yeah, I think that's it, and apparently he's got a story to tell us. And there's another phone up here. I don't know why we need 2 phones. And we can stay at the inn. Don't think we really need to. If we need to at some point, we will. It's $400, but we are swimming in the money right now. I didn't even take out all the money that was in the bank, but it was at a point, I was at like 90,000 something, and the digits don't go past 5 digits, so I'm not sure what happens at that point, if you can't get any more money after you get to that point, or what. And we're going to have to clear out some inventory space. So let's go ahead and sell a couple things real quick here. Can we get anything out of Katie's inventory? We have 2 Sun Guts pills. We haven't used those yet, so let's go ahead and get rid of one of those. Let's go ahead and buy that holy fry pan. I literally just upgraded Katie's weapon, though, last episode. It's crazy how fast I got obsolete, but yeah, when I was in Winters, before I started the video, I went ahead and upgraded to that fry pan we just had, but it was already been obsoleted, so we want to go ahead and pick up the new one. And the shiny coin, yeah, we want to put that in Ben's inventory, up his defense, go ahead and sell the lucky coin, and then buy another one for Ed, assuming he has inventory space, which he might not. Yeah, he doesn't. Okay, so we gotta sell something else, or move something else around, I think, because we definitely want to get all the upgrades we can. So the zip gun, we don't need the zip gun anymore, but we can't sell it, and I don't think we can drop it. Oh, we can drop it. Okay, good. Because I know some of his weapons you can't drop, even when you get a new upgrade for it, which is really unfortunate. But we got rid of that. We can go to give him the shiny coin, and equip that. Buy the lucky coin, yada yada yada, the usual stuff. Yeah, that's why sometimes I just go ahead and do that stuff off camera. I do all my upgrading of equipment off camera, and buying stuff and selling stuff, because it can get a little boring watching me do all that. Yeah, and these Tenda are apparently a little different. There's a guy running around up there. I don't know what he's going on about. So this guy was an exchange student who traveled to a country that is known as an economic superpower. My name is Ago Stick. Let me know if I can do anything for you. No, I don't need a money loan. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Yeah, but let's get this over with. Let's talk to the Talking Rock, who is going to tell us something very important. We may want to take notes. So we're the Chosen One. We already know that, though. We found that out in the beginning of the game. So we have to save the world. Basically, yes, I remember Giant Step. That is one of your sanctuary. Okay, so he's basically reiterating like what the main goal is, and that is to use the sound stones to record the melody of the 8-year sanctuaries. And once we do that, we can finally see your world, which is something we'll find out about once we find that last year sanctuary. So he's gonna tell us all the spots. So basically, this is in case you missed one. They want to make sure that you get back to get them, because if you missed that one phone call, for example, and didn't go to the museum, or possibly you didn't go back to the one in Winters, but yeah, Magnet Hill, that's one, and then Pink Cloud, those are the ones that we possibly would have missed, and then Lumen Hole, which is something that obviously we had to get through to pass here. And to get to the last one, I think we have to get them all done before we get to the last one, possibly. I thought maybe you could miss one and have to go, and you could do this one next and then go to a different one last or something. I don't know what I'm going on about. But yeah, it's possible that might even be locked to you until you've gotten them all. But this guy basically reminds you of those your sanctuary locations and where they are, or kind of like relative clues in case you have missed one. But yeah, I believe if we go to well, first we're gonna head up here and see what that Tenda up there is doing. Just kind of curious what the heck he's doing up there. And then I believe the southwest corner is where we want to be going. Southwest? Yeah, southwest. And then an earthquake and a red spring. A chubby, obnoxious kid from some foreign country said something heartrending. So I'm healing my wounds with the hot springs. Oh, so Pokey was here. Pokey was here ahead of us. How did Pokey get here? That's interesting. So I imagine we'll probably be seeing him pretty soon then, if he's apparently been here. So yeah, I think it's down this way is where there's the cave entrance. And, there's one more dinosaur. We haven't fought this guy yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and fight this guy in camera. Because we are getting close to 30 minutes here, so I want to make sure that we save that for next episode, the next year sanctuary location and that whole cave up ahead. Because otherwise this video is going to drag on too long. I think it'd probably be better to save the whole thing, keep it contained in one video. So yeah, that'll be next episode. But first off, let's take down the Chompasaur. Kind of interesting because he looks kind of like it. Oh, he's got a power shield. Gotta watch out for that. I didn't remember that happening. But yeah, he looks kind of like a Brontosaurus or something like that, which obviously are plant eaters, so it seems kind of weird to have them attacking us. And even being called a Chompasaur, which implies it's a monster that, you know, like chomps you. And we need to heal quick. Nope, that's the wrong person. I didn't mean to heal you. Crap, that was stupid. Well, I guess we're gonna find out if healing Omega will heal death. And Katie's gonna go down here too. We're not gonna be quick enough to heal her. Well, crap, and so does Ollie. This is not the right way to end an episode, guys. This really isn't. Let's just go for a PSI Boom Gamma, see how much that does. PSI Fire Beta. Luckily, it's not doing very much to me. I must have some kind of item that lessens the power of fire-type attacks or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's finish this guy off on our own. Just keep throwing PSI Boom Gamma at him. We should be getting PSI Boom Omega fairly soon here. But yeah, we're not going to get a chance to try out healing Omega because Ollie is dead. We do have cups of life noodles, but it's really not worth it to use those, I don't think. Although, actually, wait, crap. There's not a doctor over here, is there? There's a hotel, but there's not a doctor in the Tenda village down here. So, let's head back there. It is expensive, so maybe just, it might heal me off completely, or we might have to figure out what to do. We can try using a couple life noodles to bring back Ollie. Okay, so it's only $100 because there's only one of me. So it's only going to heal me then, I'm guessing. So we can't get back up, so I think we do have to use that couple life noodles, possibly. Because I don't think there's a healer. Yeah, probably not. So let's go ahead. I did talk to everybody, and nobody gave me options for that. So, couple life noodles on Ollie. Bring him back. And then go ahead and use healing Omega. See if that brings back Katie. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so it does. That's nice to know. It's too bad I screwed things up and had that happen, but not enough PP. Well, crap. So we got to stay at the hotel again and spend another couple $100. So let's go ahead and do that. Get our PSI back. This is not the right way to end an episode. This is not how I expected it to go. But surprised we're not getting anything repaired on, although he's dead. I don't know if he can repair stuff while he's dead. So let's get another healing Omega going, and then we'll just not bother healing up the rest of that. And yeah, next episode I'll meet you back over at the entrance of that cave, and we'll head in and take on the last Your Sanctuary location and see what happens next. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We're getting close to the end of the game here. I hope you're excited to see what's coming next. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode of Earthbound.